All right, here we go with 6th grade Excel, lesson number 12. We're going to be learning about multiplying with a 2-digit multiplier. This is called 2-digit multiplication. Now, they have all these directions on your lesson here. You're welcome to go back through that. I'm basically just going to show you how it's done. So I'm going to slide this page that you have here out of the way, and I'm just going to show you the steps that are involved in doing 2-digit multiplication. We have the problem 368 times 32. All right, this should be review for most of you. I'm going to use a different color here. So what we're going to do first is we're going to multiply this number on the top, whatever that is, 368 in this case, times the number in the ones place on the bottom. That's the only thing I'm going to do first, and that answer is going to go right here. I'm just going to pretend like this 3 is not even there. All right, just kind of ignoring that for right now. So I'm going to do 8 times 2 is 16, carry the 1. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13, carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Now what I like to do with 2-digit multiplication is when I have these carries up here, these regroupings, I like to scribble those out, and so I don't accidentally use them when I go to the next step. This is called a partial product. Product is an answer to a multiplication problem. Partial means not the whole thing, and so this is part of the answer to our multiplication problem. Now that I've done 368 times 2, I'm going to multiply 368 times this 3, which is actually a 30 because it's in the tens place, and I'm completely finished with the 2. If you'd like to cross it out, you can, or if you can just remember that you are finished with that 2, then you can just ignore it from this point forward. So 368 times 30, or times 3, I'm going to first put a 0 in to hold the ones place in my next partial product. That's because this is not a 3, that's a 30. Now I go through and just multiply 368 times 3, and that answer is going to go right along in here. 8 times 3 is 24. Carry the 2 up to the tens column there. Don't skip this step. A lot of kids skip over and they go right to the 3. Don't forget that 6. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 2 is 20. Carry the 2. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11. Now what I'm going to do is add my two partial products together. I've got my partial product from multiplying 368 times 2. I've got my partial product from multiplying 368 times 30, and then I'm going to add those together. So 6 plus 0 is 6, 3 plus 4 is 7, 7 plus 0 is 7, and then I have an 11 left out here. So my answer is 11,776. Let's see if we got the same thing that they did on your lesson over here. Pull that over. Look at that, same exact answer, and that's how you do it. So if that was too fast for you, go back through and watch that again. And now we're going to show you what you would do if you see a 0 in the ones place. I'm going to go ahead again and do this problem for you so you can kind of work along with me here. 673 times 40. Go ahead and switch my color out. And I can do 3 times 0 is 0, 7 times 0 is 0, 6 times 0 is 0. I'm done with the 0. Put down a 0 as a ones placeholder. And now I'm going to multiply 673 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry the 1. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 1 is 29. Carry the 2. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 2 is 26. And then I add my two partial products together, and I get 26,920. Now, do you notice that this number and this number are the exact same thing? Well, what can we do to make this a little bit easier problem rather than doing all that work? Isn't there a shorter way to do it? And of course there is a shorter way. And that is just to go straight to the answer like they show you right here. There's no reason to go through this first step and write a bunch of zeros down because the answer is going to be this. So just put down a 0 for your placeholder and go straight to the 3 times 4, 7 times 4, 6 times 4 goes there. Bam, that's your answer. As easy as that. All right, let's try. We're going to move on here. When you regroup with multiplication, the tens or hundreds that are being regrouped are added after you multiply. If you have to regroup when multiplying by the digit in the ones place or the tens place, it may get confusing with all the regrouping notation. try to add the 1s and 10s that are being regrouped without writing them down. If you cannot do this, then once you multiply by the digit in the 1s place, erase the notation. What this is telling you to do is if you're doing, say, 35 times 8, you're going to put 40, carry the 4. They're saying do not write the 4 right there. Just do it mentally. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 4 is 28. And they're saying if you do have to write it down right there, then you need to erase this before you go on. Well, I showed you that you can just kind of scribble on it, and that's okay as well. When multiplying dollar amounts by a 2-digit number, do not put the dollar symbol and the decimal in the partial products. What that means, let's go back and take a look at this. Let's say that this was a money problem. $6.73. Well, this is actually a really bad example because we don't really have partial products on that. But let me go back to this one here. Okay, what this is telling you is that if this was a money problem, do not put decimal point and dollar sign in here. Only put it down here for the answer. Don't put it anywhere in there, dollar sign and decimal point. But you do need to remember to put it in your answer. Come on, go. Keep going. All right, here are some double-digit multiplication problems. We're going to go ahead and do some of these together, and then you're going to try some on your own. So do this first one with me. First of all, we do not need to put a bunch of zeros down here. We're just going to skip that step, put a 0 here, and multiply 91 times 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 9 times 5 is 45. So the answer is 4,550. All right, let's do this next one together as well. See if you can write it on your paper as I'm doing it. You can kind of just listen to my voice. I'll be talking you through the problem and see if you can kind of go a little bit slightly ahead of me. All right, here we go. 4 times 7 is actually the first thing I'm going to do is multiplying 64 times 7, right? So I'm going to do 4 times 7 first. 4 times 7 is 28. Put the 8 and carry the 2. And then 6 times 7 is 42. 42 plus 2 is 44. Don't forget to scribble out that 2. And now we're multiplying 64 times 20. So I need to put a 0 underneath the 8 to hold the place of the 1's place. I'm going to go ahead and draw my line. Here we go with 4 times 2, which is 8. And then 6 times 2, which is 12. All right, add these two together. 8 and 0. 4 plus 8 is 12. Carry the 1. 4 plus 2 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. And then your 1. So the answer is 1,728. All right, why don't you go ahead and pause the video, try number 3 on your own, and then turn it back on after you're finished with just number 3. Here's what you should have done. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 2 is 8. Put down a 0 because you're multiplying 43 times 9 right here, or the 90. 3 times 9 is 27. Carry the 2. 4 times 9 is 36. Plus 2 is 38. Draw a line. Add the two partial products together. 15, 9, 3. 3,956. Alrighty, go ahead and pause the video and do 4, 5, and 6. Turn it back on when you're ready to see all those solutions. First we're doing 75 times 7. 5 times 7 is 35. Carry the 3. 7 times 7 is 49, plus 3 is 52. Put a 0 for a placeholder. Scribble out the things that you're already done with there. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 7 times 5 is 35. Plus 2 is 37. Add your two partial products. 5, 7, 12, 4. 4,275. All right, if you missed that one and you learned something, you might want to go and fix 5 and 6 before you watch me do these. Try to get them right on your own instead of having to get them all wrong and seeing me do them right. Here we go with 239 times 4. I'm ignoring this 3 first. 9 times 4 is 36. Carry the 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. Carry the 1. 2 times 4 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. All right, I'm done with the 4. Scribble out my carries. Put a 0. 9 times 3 is 27. Carry the 2. 3 times 3 is 9. Plus 2 is 11. Carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. Add my two partial products. and I get 8,126. Now for a money problem, 7 times 7 is 49, carry the 4. 6 times 7 is 42, 46. And 2 times 7 is 14, plus 4 is 18. Now I need to scribble these out. I'm not using that 7 anymore. Put a 0 to hold the 1's place. 7 times 2 is 14, carry the 1. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13, carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Add the two partial products. 9, that's equal to 10. Now that's equal to 12, and that's equal to 7. So the answer is $72.09. So there you have it. Thanks for watching.